It's an affirmation. Yeah.
Thank you, John.
Yeah. Thanks.
That's one I needed
Yeah.
this weekend. I didn't have it.
Mm-hmm.
And I kind of forgot about the blessed part, and I was ready to bless some people out instead of feeling blessed on my own. There's a difference between being blessed and blessing people out. And I was straying towards the blessing them outside really, really hard. And I tell you, something happened. I did something different. I'm proud of myself. Every now and then I do it, I get it, you know. I called for help.
Mm-hmm. Wow.
I picked up the phone and said, dude, I'm having a really hard time. You need to talk some sense into me right now because I'm about to go savage on somebody. I wasn't going to go savage, but I wanted to go savage. And just the wanting to puts enough energy. I'm too powerful a being. I can't be thinking stuff like this and think it's not affecting the planet. None of us can. All of us are powerful beings. Everybody in here is affecting the universe just by being here. That's a scientific fact. You know what I like to talk about sometimes? If I step into the ocean, there's an imperceptible rise in the tide. Because I'm here, you see. I'm making a difference whether I think I am or not, whether I want to or not. It's just happening. That's what I like about Dr. Jeff. You stopped short, and I was distracted. I'm not blessing you out. Yeah, because I went to the bottom. He starts talking about the snail because this breaks it down where it's everybody. There's no special people. We're all special, so we're all special. It says, now very few people understand the meaning of a spiritual universe because they think mistakenly that the spiritual universe is philosophically and religiously a theory.
Yeah.
They do not know that the universe we are looking at now is that universe. The universe we're in right now. They're looking for an eternity when things will be all right. They do not know that they are in that eternity now. They're looking for a salvation which they already have, even though they are not using it with freedom and enjoy. We happen to believe in a spiritual universe. Jesus said, behold, the kingdom of God is at hand. Probably most of them looked around and said, we don't see anything. But he saw something. And he heard something. And felt something that every practitioner in our field must see. The pure in heart shall see God. Now this should be interpreted literally. Because where there is no longer any adulteration of spirit and not spirit, of God and not God, of being and not being, there will be nothing left but what is, which is being. And we believe in this being. Man, this is good.
Yeah.
It just gets me. I love the part about the snail. It just gets me. It says, God's the snail out there. This doesn't denigrate God. It doesn't denigrate God to be the snail. It doesn't denigrate me to surrender. It doesn't make me less to let somebody else be right, even when I know they're wrong. Just as an aside, surrender, we like to talk about surrender. We know about surrender. We hear about surrender. We've studied surrender. Surrender can only happen when you're right, people. If you're trying to surrender when you're wrong, that's just admitting facts. That's not surrender. You're just not being stupid. Just saying, okay, the facts say this, the math says that, I'll go along with it. But when you know you're right and you have all the evidence supporting you, you got people calling you from home. All over the internet. The entire universe is bowing to your rightness. Now that's surrender. Because it doesn't matter how right I am, you see. Being right is not going to get me what I want. Actually, being right is a good way to stay in victim status. But that's another talk. So January, traditionally, and I've lived long enough to become a traditionalist, it's really creepy. Okay, I tell you something. I'm warning you. It happens. You know, nobody wanted to burn everything down more than me. That's why I didn't join anything. They weren't radical enough. And now I'm 70 years old, and I'm like, well, I guess we don't have to burn everything down. So we talk about the first 4 chapters in the textbook, the thing itself, what it does, the way it works, and how to use it. And people are getting away with it, coming up with all this fancy stuff, working in there, got all that, but I like to stick to that because I think I need to get the basics down. The thing itself. Dr. Holmes had the audacity to call God a thing. I got to tell you, this was offensive to me.
Yeah.
I didn't predate it. I understood the logic behind it. I couldn't even argue the science behind it. I mean, right in the book of Genesis, it says that in his own image made he them, both male and female made he them. So, clearly, God's at least androgynous, hermaphrodite, something. Okay? Now, I don't want to talk about that in a traditional church. That's one of those verses they don't spend a lot of time on. But it's right there in King James Version. I grew up looking at this wondering, So when Dr. Holmes called God it, I couldn't argue. I just didn't like it because it offended my Christian sensitivities. But I've learned it's okay to be offended, see? See, when I'm offended, that's me in my rightness, and somebody else is not respecting it, doing it wrong. Now they have to be wrong, and I get to be right. And no. See, we started out, surrender. Let it go, man. So God, male and female, however you want to approach it, gender fluid. Who knew King James was so progressive? So, but what God does, that's the second chapter. And what it does is respond. God responds. That's why we have prayer, so that we can get a response. We believe, people who pray, believe God is answering their prayer. Otherwise, you don't pray. So there's a relationship. My own particular theory is that God must be relationship, because everything that exists is in relationship with something else. There's no singularity in the universe that is not being affected by something else. Everything is in relationship with something. So whatever created this relationship that's in relationship with itself must have some idea or must have some relationship to it. And relationships are based on give and take. And give and take is an action of reciprocity. You get in what you put in. Garbage in, garbage out. That's reciprocity, right? I want 3 reciprocity statements off the top. Who got one? Because I've got like 25. So I'm adding to my list. I'll tell you what I'm doing. I'm adding to my list. Because I believe and I know the law of God is reciprocity. It's the law of the universe. It's all over the place. You can't get away from it. I'm rubber. You're glue. Everything you say bounces off of me, sticks onto you. Reciprocity. Be a friend, have a friend. That's one. Dos más. What goes around comes around. Man, I tried to get away from that one a lot, but you can't. One more. You reap what you sow. Somebody else want to jump in here? It's okay.
Give and receive.
Give and receive. What you got, Wade? Okay, that's on me. I'm going to have to stay there, but we're going to accept that answer right now. The judges have not vetoed it. If it looks like a duck and quacks like a duck, it might be a duck. Hey, what you're saying right there. Which is not exactly reciprocity, but it gave us some levity, and that's always good, too. So we're going to blame this on you. So reciprocity is the order of the day. The question is, how are we using reciprocity? Because the law of God is reciprocity. The love of God, and this is what Dr. Holmes talks about, the love and the law. The law is the way it works, and the love is the compassion and the ideas. The love is the idea part of God. It comes up with an idea, the law makes it happen. In the idea phase, this is where God is embracing itself as the new thing. Dr. Holmes says spirit makes things out of itself by becoming the thing that he creates or it creates. Spirit makes things out of itself by becoming the thing it creates. What did I say? Okay, who's got it? Tell me, who's got it? Crystal. That's good. You completely restructured it. And that was wow. You just put it in a scramble and came out with it. That was really amazing. Like, wow. I'd never heard of that before, but that's exactly right. You see, and this is what Gandhi said, be the change you wish to see. That's mirroring and mimicking the same idea because we are God incarnate. No, I am God incarnate. Can you say that?
I am God incarnate.
Really, see? Now see, if that's true, if I believe I'm God incarnate, that means nobody's holding me back because nobody's holding back God. Nobody's in my way. Nothing can stop me. I don't have no problems. I got no reason to be crying and complaining. But see, I can't get to that level of awareness if I don't have a sufficient level of gratitude for what's happening in my life. See, I love the path I'm on. You know, I just get slapped around. Right outside the church, I love to tell the story. Right outside the center right here, I'm on my way home, and the voice, clear as day, says, "You've always been a particularly ungrateful child." Of course, I knew that wasn't me. You know, I'm turning around. Well, somebody's about to get it, you know. Of course, there's nobody on the street but me. I knew it was me, but I'm hoping that this is not mine to bear. I didn't like it. So, that's my nature. I'm trying to weasel out. I'm like, okay, God, well, you know, humans are ungrateful. I'm a human, so I'm sure I'm ungrateful like a human being. But you said particularly, dude. You said particularly. Why did you say particularly? And God said, because I gave you so much. Well, I got to tell you, I didn't want to argue. I kind of felt an argument trying to form, but I knew that was true. I didn't think I had that many more gifts than anybody else. I figured we all got gifts. But ever since that happened, I've been taking inventory. And I had been up until that point one ungrateful, you know what. People, if you're unhappy, it's because you're ungrateful. I can tell you that for a fact, because you're not measuring the things that you take for granted. We don't measure what we take for granted. We don't think about what's just here. We don't think about I'm alive. We don't think about breath. We don't think about circulation. We don't think about any of the stuff that had to happen before we even got here. These are things that make us who we are. We are not here by ourselves. We are only here because a star, according to the latest theory in science, a star exploded, spewed molten star all over the universe, and somehow a comet came from somewhere, I never figured out where that came from, and cooled the star and did it twice, and finally killed off the dinosaurs. All of these things had to happen for humanity to even get here. We didn't make ourselves. We are a product of something that's ongoing. God is evolving. People don't like to hear that. My own organization don't even like to hear that. But how could God not be evolving? See, we created a God that can't grow. Because as a human being, we believe God has to be perfect. And we believe that perfection means it doesn't need to be changed. Everything is in place. But perfection means it is ongoing to become even more perfect than it already is. My daughter came home with a poem when she was in 3rd grade. I still remember. She's, 50 now. I want y'all to learn this. There'll be a test. Good, better, best. Never let it rest until your good is better, until your better is best. It's simple. She came home and so I said, whoa, does she know what? Oh, she doesn't remember, but people say they say progress, not perfection. But I want to say that progress is perfection. That's what perfection looks like. It's continuing to become more perfect. It's continuing to be more perfect. Each of us is continuing to be more perfect. God is identifying God as each of us. Each of us is a walking, talking, living, breathing expression of the Most High indwelling in self-existent God. This is why Master Teacher Jesus said, I and the Father are one. Now see, some people call him the example, the exception, and some people call him the example. I like to think of him as the example. Greater work shall ye also do. But if I'm a walking, talking, living, breathing expression of the Most High, I have something I can do about this planet. I'm not here just taking it on the chin. See, I have to stop telling that story of woe that says, but you and your little kids, oh, I'm little, I can't do anything. And you just say, oh, I'm little, I can't do anything. I'm too weak, I'm too afraid, I'm too this, they're too big, they're too powerful, they're too rich. We got all these stories of why we can't have our good. All these stories about why the world is screwed up. When we don't realize that we are the world's salvation. I am the salvation of the world, not me by myself. This is why the Master Teacher said, it's not I, but the Father within that does the work. It's the divine presence that's in, through, and as all of creation. The divine presence is what? In, through, and as all of creation. What is it?
In, through, and as.
All of creation. That means it's in, through, and as me. Man, you know, if that's true, so you like that? You see, I can feel that. Yeah, sometimes I'm thinking I get a little pep in my step. I get a little glide in my stride. That's right. I'm God walking down the street right now. God's walking down the street over here, people. God has entered the building. Well, God's the building too, but that's not the point. The point is now I know, see, because now I know. See, you can change your past with what you now know. Because the victimization we experienced in the past, we only experienced because we didn't know that we were one with the divine. And if we didn't know we were one with the divine, we could have stood in a place. Even if we couldn't stop what happened, we could have experienced it from a different perspective. Yes? And so now that I'm armed with this, I go back in my life and I remember it differently. I'm changing my past because I'm remembering it differently. I'm not the little boy who was afraid and couldn't do anything. I'm a little boy who realizes who he is throughout it all. Are you with me on this? So God is responding to us because God is operating in us and through us and as us. That makes me what the woman, she's running for president, what's her name, Marianne Williamson, say? Powerful beyond measure. I can hear Ricky in my mind. It's probably going to sound racist. I'm sorry, I'm not the most PC person on the planet. I apologize, but I hear that. Lucy, you got some explaining to do. You know, it's like God's like, what is up with you, dude? What is up? I already talked to you. I told you. And I'm grateful for my mission. I am the light of the world. You see, the reason why we ran off the mission and decided to be small, helpless, and afraid is because yeah. It's because our greatness is stupefying. Okay, it's hard to climb to the top of the stairs if you can't see where the staircase is going. Even if you have the courage to start the climb, at some point you want to see the top. But who we are is so great that the people who housed us, not knowing how great they were, didn't have any opportunity, no clue, no chance to encourage the greatness in me. The people that were supposed to encourage the greatness in them didn't know how great they were. On and on and on and on and on. So here we are. Am I going to pass this legacy on of not knowing? Hell no. I'm not doing that, see? I can't do it. Because, see, now I know. And once you know, you can't not know. Yes? Somebody say that. I want to hear that. No, not the yes. Yeah, you can't not know. You can't not know. You know, see? And everybody in here knows there's something, there's an inkling. There's a part of us that knows. There's something that's curious. Say, otherwise, we'd be right where we always have been. Believe in everything we always believe, but there's always been something just, here's a word I had to get used to. You're going to see why. Something niggling at us. You know, I didn't come to that word easy. That took some surrender, baby. I mean, I'm looking, I say, well, I see that's what it says in the dictionary. I just don't like it. Oh, man. So God is responding to us. Everything we think, everything we say, every action is a prayer. And if you want to know what you're praying about, take a look around your life right now. I hope this doesn't sound too harsh, but what she said in reciprocity, reap what you sow, goes around, comes around. This is the sum total of what we believe about ourselves in life. That doesn't hear, and I'm not saying that to make us wrong, bad, inept, or whatever. It gives us an opportunity for a course correction. That's what we do when we realize the ship is straight off course. Yes? We do a course correction. Nobody has to be wrong for a course correction. Now, we could be mad at the person who let it go off course in the first place, but that would be us because we're the captain of the ship. And that's who we're mad at anyway, because we didn't stop whatever we're mad at. We didn't stop it. Why did we do something? And we won't give ourselves a break. And since we won't give ourselves a break, God can't give us a break, because God is doing what? Operating and using the belief system that we have. And so I'm taking the creative power of God that created the universe and everything in it, that creates things out of itself by becoming the thing it creates. I'm taking this great power, of which I cannot be separate, of which I cannot be apart from, and I'm using it to create what I have right now. Now, if what I have right now is exactly what I want, no problem. But if I'm finding fault, problems, wrong with what's going on right now, there's only one person who can change it. Because, see, some people like it just the way it is. Ain't that right? They don't see nothing wrong. You can point out all the things that are wrong, and I still don't see it. You know why? Because it's not wrong to them. Because they're having their own experience of the divine. We're all having a, Dr. Holmes said, an individualized. We're not individuals. We're individualized expressions of the divine. The breath of God is in each of us. Nobody owns the breath. We're breathing the same primordial breath. The dinosaurs breathing the same breath. It's not our breath, but we depend on it. We depend on it. What God does. God says, yes, sir, yes, ma'am, yes, whoever. And just goes and takes care of business. So some of us have God, we got God running errands. You know? Yes, Craig.
How dare I go to the ocean of life with a teaspoon in hand and say things are insufficient?
Well, yeah. He said, how dare I go to the ocean of life with a teaspoon in my hand and say that life is insufficient. And see, and that's okay if you want to do that, Craig. The problem is when you look around and somebody pulls up with a tanker truck, okay, now you're mad at the dude with the tanker truck. Because, well, he done showed up with it. He's hoarding it all. He's taking it all. No, his consciousness is allowing him to have a tanker truck. You know, he's saying it's okay to have a tanker truck. There's nothing wrong in his mind about having a tanker truck. I mean, I can just look at the people who do monster trucks. Okay, it's not my thing, but the folks who are into them, they're really into them. Kind of cool, but I'm just not going to go to the show and spend to buy paraphernalia and all that. You know what I'm saying? So here we are. What is the God in you doing? What are the orders that you're giving to God as you? What can you do to add to the life that you're living, armed with the knowledge that you are God incarnate? What can you do about peace in the Middle East? And here's the thing about it. We are so fickle and selective. Oh, it's a big deal because certain folks is at war. That's all I'm going to say. But the whole planet's at war. There's war all over the planet. We're just focusing on certain places, but it's all over Africa. There's constant tensions on the South China Sea. Okay, there's always something going down. You go right here in the United States of America, come on, please. Please. We got more black people in jail when Martin Luther King was killed than all of apartheid. Somehow I decided I want to come back. I want to be a black man. I need the experience. So who's going to tell me what God does? Craig. Yeah, we've been talking about it all day. I love it. God does through me. See, that's beautiful. That's advanced. I didn't even say that. See, yes. God says yes. God shows up as I see God. What's God doing in my life right now? God's pushing you around? You know what?
Trying to help me figure things out and make up.
You know. You're stubborn. You already know. We only get pushed after we know. This is mine. See, because people who don't know, God's not pushing people around who don't. You don't know. But if you know, wake up. You know? Powerful beyond measure. You have a destiny. We all have a destiny. Doesn't mean we have to. I had a little radio show when I was in middle school. I mean, I got hooked on it too. I got hooked. Oh my God. It was just a class project. 3 people, when the project was over, they dropped it. But I'm hooked, baby. I can't let it go. So, man. And one day I'm on my program, and my daughter hears me. It confused her. She saw me the next time. She saw me. She said, Daddy, was that you on the radio? Yeah, baby, that was me. She's twisted. I could see her. She said, you ain't Martin Luther King. What are you doing on the radio? That's how, who am I? Like Marion, to be beautiful and talented and all these wonderful things. God incarnate, that's who. A walking, talking, living, breathing expression of the divine. God's the snail out there. Doesn't denigrate God, but it glorifies the snail. God in me is glorifying me. When I talk about me, it's not the me who thinks he's separate from everybody else and therefore has to be better than everybody else. Not that me. The me that reckons what the Rasta say, the I and I. Realize I wouldn't even be here without God. I don't exist without, nothing exists without the divine. That means I get to see the face of God in everybody I see. Problem is, some people, I don't want them to be the face of God, see? I've decided they're wrong, they're corrupt, they're evil, they're bad, they don't get to be God, and I don't get to be God. Everything I'm holding back from them, reciprocity, people, I'm holding back from me. This is the way it works. Are you with me? Is that you feel me? It's hardcore. I got to tell you, if you're in a relationship, you understand. Because sometimes you know your partner's wrong and you just want them to admit it. Your relationship is like, what goes, if everything's the face of God and everything is a reflection of my own being, I'm looking at Pure Angelique and I'm like, you got to be kidding me. And this is not a mark on her. See, I'm looking at her realizing she's a reflection of me. If she's a reflection of me and this is what I'm looking at, dude, you've got work to do. This is the beauty of it, you see. It's a savage system, but it keeps us evolving. It keeps us becoming more and more perfect. Because we can't rest on our laurels and say, look how high I've climbed. Look how well I've done. There's more to do. There's more perfection. It's ongoing. You know, I know it's hard to believe, people. I know you're looking at me and you're thinking, how can he be even more perfect? It's hard for me to believe sometimes. Look in the mirror and and tell yourself, I can be even more perfect. But see, in order to say I can be even more perfect, Lord have mercy. Accept the fact that right now I'm already perfect. And that's a level of accountability and a level of authority and a level of awareness of which we fear to tread. Because once we go there, see, once you know, you can't not know. Once I know, I can't not know. Now I don't get to have any reason why. I don't get to blame anybody. And so when my dear, sweet, loving wife, and she's really good. I got a good woman. I have to remember that, see, when I'm pissed off. I don't want to remember it now. I just want you to do what I say and leave me the heck alone. Can we just have that agreement? No! We're not getting that agreement. See, this is what I finally got. I'm growing. See, I'm continuing to evolve. No, Mwata, you're never going to get that deal. The problem is you believe such a deal exists. You believe that somebody's going to shut up on cue. Well, not on cue, but every once in a while be nice. No, don't shut up. Yes, I do. Yeah, when you decide to, not when people tell you to. And if they tell me to and I do it, it's because I decided to do it. You see? It's all me. Everything is me. Everything is me. So this is what God's doing. God is operating in us and through us and as us. God does not pick favorites. That's why it rains on the just as well as the unjust. That's what that's about. Why does it rain on the just as well as the unjust? You'd think the just would get some kind of benefit for being just. Nope. All you get for being just is being just. And if that's not reward enough, then you're not being just. You see? Because people who are being just, that's just who they are. And they know it's going to rain. So God doesn't pick sides. God doesn't pick favorites. The universe just is. The universe just is. I saw an old movie, one of those black exploitation films. It was Bill Cosby was in it with Richard Pryor. Richard Pryor had just ripped him off, stolen his money. He's all upset. Man, why you take my money? Why you do me like that, brother? Why you do me? Like, why you take my money? Best line I'd heard in film up until that point. He said, why not take your money? Your money's good as anybody else's. I'm a thief. This is what I do. People do what they do because of who they are, not because of who you are. And this is why, as hard as it is, this is one of the hardest lessons. Man, don't take it personally. That's the four agreements. Say, don't take anything personally. Man, that's almost impossible. I think it is impossible. I've made an addendum that says, don't take anything personally, and don't take it personally when you find yourself taking it personally. Okay? Because we all take it personally. Because it feels, I gave you so much. Meaning, you haven't taken inventory, boy. You walk around here crying with a loaf of bread in your mouth. If we just take accountability for the things that are working in our lives, it always outweighs by 10 times what's not working. You can take a pebble. This is my Zen moment I came up with. The pebble will shield an entire mountain because you hold it so close to your eye, you can't see the mountain. And some of us are walking around, we've studied that pebble. We know we're pebble experts. Don't even know there's such a thing as a mountain. We're coming out of that now. And I just want you to be empowered enough to bless yourself every morning. You know? Even if we just walk into the mirror and say, man, I could be even more perfect. However perfect I'm not feeling right now. You see? I can be more perfect than this because God is continually to improve. Michelangelo said David was already in the stone. I just chipped away everything that wasn't David. And God continues to perfect me. God continues to perfect me. God continues to supply the light I am with more light. And everybody in here is old enough to already seen death 2 or 3 times, yes? You already know, okay, I'm not getting out of here until it's time. Damn it, thought I had a way out. No, you're still here. Be the light. Be the presence. Don't allow yourself to get swayed by what's happening in the world. You can be in the world, but not of the world. You can be in the world, but not of the world. And see, the world is in me. The world is not out here. Because the oneness is always self-reflective. The oneness is always self-reflective. That's how you perfect yourself. Self-reflection. If you're not looking at yourself, you can't perfect yourself, yes? Reciprocity works on awareness. Conscious reciprocity. We got the unconscious reciprocity. We just keep on doing the same thing over and over again, expect a different result.
Is that it?
Thank you. God bless.
That horn was right on time. That's funny.
Yeah, it was. And I was like, God, my sister Rashida loves to say, God be knowing. I love God be knowing. I got to say, dude, that's a killer beard you got right there. I'm
It
just
is
gonna
cool,
say,
very
that's
sharp.
really nice beard. For sure. I wasn't going to say anything, but it's like, dude, you're the light. Just be the light and tell the man his beard. Look, your beard is killer. It's stunning. I love it. Absolutely. How long have you been growing that? Forever, huh? Part of you, right?
April.
He manifested a beard.
This is a test. Okay. I'm grateful that you grew that beard so quickly. No, that's amazing, but it's beautiful. Yeah, for sure. As well groomed. My son, he says if you're not grooming your beard, you don't have a beard, you just have hair on your face. Well, I guess it's time for offering.
Yeah, it is. Yeah.
And you know how the offering works? Check this out, people. Reciprocity.
Yes, that's right.
It's all about reciprocity. Because, and this is not a manipulation, this is just the law. If we're afraid to give, then we're afraid to receive. Because reciprocity is always working. And if we're afraid to give, do we want to stay afraid or do we want to test it a little bit? So I'm always saying, always approach offering with the incentive to open to more. And to open to more means I'm going to push myself beyond my normal boundaries because here's where I'm safe. But I'm tired of being safe. I'm in grow mode, right? That means I want to get outside of these parameters right here. So, if it's a 1% more, a 0.5% more, whatever it is, maybe you'll be happier when you do. So it's the same amount, but I'll be happier about it. That's still an increase. That's still opening us to more perfection. And God continues to perfect that which I am. Continues to perfect that which we are. So this offering that we're taking up right now is also online. Give, John.
Give at sfcsl.org.
Yes.
And that's PayPal and Zelle. Thank you.
I said earlier there's war all over the planet. You know what else is all over the planet? Peace.
Yes,
Peace is
right.
all over the planet too.
that's right.
Peace does not make the news.
No.
Peace doesn't make the news. So to think that everybody's upset everywhere and nobody likes anybody anywhere. But in the midst of the most war-torn moments, man, and this is not a political statement, but my daughter's Islam, and she was taken by the women whose children who had been buried in the rubble, and they picked up their children and they say, Allahu Akbar, God is still the greatest. I'm holding my dead, lifeless child, but God is still the greatest. This is the kind of faith I'm looking for. This is what I want for me. Am I there right now? I'm not going to say I'm not there, but I ain't saying I am either. I'm moving towards it. You see? It's incremental. So our prosperity statement that you repeat after me when I remember it. It says,
From a consciousness.
thank you, John. That's the beginning. From a consciousness of abundance
Consciousness of
and
abundance
centered in gratitude,
and centered in gratitude,
I generously give.
I generously give.
I accept
I accept
the laws of prosperity and abundance
the laws of prosperity and abundance
as I demonstrate
divine
circulation in my life.
circulation in my life.
In
What's-
gratitude,
Yes, in gratitude,
I freely give.
I freely give.
In joyful acceptance,
In joyful acceptance,
I freely receive.
I freely receive.
So it is.
We're going to do a different piece today for the law of reciprocation. Since love is why I'm here,
Yes.
I am an open channel. Since love is why I'm here, I give and I receive. One more time. Since love is why I'm here, I am an open channel. This love is all there is. Since love is all there is, I give and I receive. Here we go. Give and receive. Ask and receive. Ask and receive. Give and receive. Ask and receive. Wow, that's a beautiful piece.
You do say so yourself. What?
Well, I didn't write it.
Oh, you
That's
didn't write that one? I
Karen
thought you
Drucker, I think.
Karen Drucker? All these years I've been giving you credit.
Well, there's only one of us, so.
Yeah, really. Man, that's hardcore, man.
What's hardcore?
Only one of us here.
Oh, yeah.
You
It
know,
is.
that's hardcore spirituality.
It is.
No hiding places. So, giving thanks and praise for the offering received, knowing that it's been received in the same manner in which it's been given, unconditionally loving, unconditionally supportive. We give this gift knowing that it's being used to amplify the consciousness of wholeness around the planet, to illuminate every light, every circumstance, every situation with more realization of the presence of the divine. That all is well, and so it is.
So it is.
So this is our prayer time, and I've been scouring lately. I've been getting different people up doing prayer because I like to listen to other people pray too. But looks like I'm on today, and so I want you to think about something that's bugging you right now. A person, a place, a circumstance, a thing, whatever it is. Because we're going into prayer, and what we know is the prayer is the answer to itself. The mere fact that I'm aware that there's a solution here, that's why I'm praying for the solution. The mere fact that I know there's a solution means I'm already at that place in awareness with a sufficient quantity of gratitude. Gratitude means I acknowledge that I have it. Yes? Yes? So when you see what it is you're working on, stop thinking about that and think about the solution. Okay? Because we pray for solutions, not problems. Problems have solutions. So we're just going to the resolution right now. We're going into the resolution because we know that resolution is our natural state of being. I am one. Start from the beginning. There's one life, one mind, one power, one presence. One life, one mind, one power, one presence. One life, one mind, one power, one presence, and one eternal giving nature. It is the life, the mind, the power, the presence, the eternal giving nature of God. the good, the indwelling, the self-existent one that lives and breathes and has its being in and through and as all of creation. It lives and breathes and has its being in and through and as me, the San Francisco Center for Spiritual Living, everyone assembled here today, all the live streamers, every truth seeker and truth center everywhere. Even those who are not seeking and those who are denying, God is at the core, the essence of all of it. So I know that right where I am and just as I am, God is. Right here and right now, just as each of us is. Right here and right now, God is. And every relationship in our lives is a relationship with the divine right now. Every relationship in my life is a relationship with God, because each and every, all things express the divinity of the divine. All things express the divinity of the divine. God is in, through, and as all creation. So everything that I'm experiencing right now, whether I like it or not, is the presence of God in my life, offering me a gift of acknowledgement, of gratitude. Do you see me now? Can you see me now? Can you behold my essence even now? How deep is my faith? How deep is my gratitude right here and right now? My gratitude is deep enough and sufficient enough to resolve all conflicts everywhere in my life. And I resolve all conflicts everywhere, in all lives everywhere, because what I know right here and right now is the resolution is the divine. Because the question is the divine. It's all the divine. And so I rest in the acknowledgement that God is the problem and the solution, and I don't have to pick sides. I bless the problem as the solution. I bless the problem as the solution, and I walk straight forward, straight through it, knowing that I'm continually supported. This is the truth about each and every one of us. We're walking in faith right here and right now, directly towards whatever we believe the obstacle might be. We walk towards it with confidence, knowing that just on the other side is where my greatness resides, and the greatness in me is pulling me towards the greatness that I know is also present. And I'm blessing the gateway that looks like a problem right now, and I'm saying yes and yes and yes and yes and more yes. I'm allowing myself to be filled with the divine presence from the inside out and the outside in. And I'm led and guided and directed on my path this day. All of my needs are met. All of my expectations exceeded. All my joys fulfilled, as I allow the inexhaustible source of the divine to flow through me in such a fashion that I meet all my financial obligations, that there's enough to save, enough to invest, enough to do whatever it is that thrills me. There's enough to grow the center, the San Francisco Center for Spiritual Living, and I'm allowing it to happen as I get my bloated nothingness out of the way. Each of us is getting our bloated nothingness out of the way, divine circuit. We're allowing the divine to complete us in us and through us and as us, and in doing so, we are rich beyond measure, because we draw our good from that infinite source. And we trust the infinite source to be present in and through and as all things. Our physical bodies are being replenished every second. Every atom is firing with sequence and precision, replicating itself with sequence and precision. Right where I am, my body continues to make itself new. And this is the truth about all bodies everywhere. And we behold the miracle of the human body, and we embrace our own beingness and our own body, whatever state we're in. We say yes, and thank you, infinite presence. Thank you for manifesting in, through, and as me. Thank you for whatever it seems ails me, because I'm here to experience the blessing of the ailment. I'm here to experience the blessing of aliveness, and aliveness is magnificent. Aliveness is magnificent. Yes, I. Yes, I. Yes, I. Yes, I. Yes, I. Yes, I. I stand in the magnificence of the divine, as the magnificence of the divine, and all of my needs are met, all my expectations are exceeded, all my joys are fulfilled. What's true for me is true for all beings everywhere. Each of us a walking, talking, living, breathing expression of the divine, with all of our needs met, expectations exceeded, and joys fulfilled. We continue to allow that further perfection to operate in us and through us and as us, knowing that all is well. For this truth I am grateful. I release and I let go. And so it is.
So it is.
And amen. Ashe.
Okay. All right.
You're up, John. Announcements?
Yeah. Thanksgiving, gratitude, announcements.
Oh, yeah. Well,
Yes.
Thanksgiving is naturally very great for Dr. John.
Thank you very much.
John was one of the people who was here when I first arrived.
Yeah.
We've been working side by side for almost 30 years now.
A lifetime.
Yeah, really.
Amazing.
I'm his Ed McMahon.
Through thick and thin. Ed McMahon and Johnny Carson. That's true. Or Doc Severinsen, man.
Yeah, there you go. Pardon me.
Old stuff. Johnny Carson.
Yeah.
Shit.
So, Dr. John,
Thank you.
Faith.
Faith, and
God bless
also
you, Faith.
Nikki helped out too.
oh, yeah,
so-
I'm coming around in the,
Sure. Yeah.
and
of course.
so, but thank you, Faith. Faith just, man, you're a miracle. No, and the beautiful thing is, see, Faith, you know you are, okay? You know you are, and that's what makes it special, even
Yeah.
more special, because now you own that level.
Yes.
You know what I'm saying?
That's
Yes,
right.
you do. And I'm grateful because it helps me to be around it, to own it. So thank you for that. That's a fact. Daniel, my brother.
Daniel, you're my brother.
Daniel's, he's got a couple of things happening during the week here. His boxing for fitness. He's not teaching you how to beat people up. But
Outta here.
if you study the stuff he's teaching you, you'll probably be able to beat people up. But but that's not why. It's just for fitness, okay? And that's on Wednesdays and Saturdays, but they pick up it again in February, right? We're on now? Okay, tell them the time.
Wednesday at 8 and Saturday only at 10.
This is AM, not in PM.
Yeah, the Wednesday is 8. See, you need to specify that.
Yes.
Because I showed up Wednesday at 8 p.m. once, and you were not here. I was like, well, who does stuff at 8 o'clock in the morning?
Obviously, lots of
And
people
not
do.
say it's in the morning. Okay, well, okay, it's in the newsletter. There's that.
Starting February, Saturdays will be at 12 noon.
Oh.
Easier. That's it.
I didn't say that. Just from a fell asleep again. So it's not going to be a 10 anymore?
In February.
Next week.
February.
10 and then
Yes, February.
noon.
Yes, February.
It'll be in the newsletter.
Ask him again. I don't think he's clear, Eve. Ask him again. No, that's true. That's right. You make sure it's certain. You're right. Okay, and since we're on it, thank you, Eve, for stepping into, and this is the second or third incarnation of you doing this.
Yes.
So thank you for stepping into social media and just all the ways you're wonderful. We've
The
been,
newsletter is beautiful, yeah.
yeah, thank you. And
Going
somebody's been teasing us about something that's coming, but they haven't told us what it is yet, so.
well.
Yay, Crystal's singing! Yeah, that's so. She's been threatening to sing for a while now. Yeah, she's
Oh,
been
Crystal
threatening.
has sang here already.
I want to give thanks for the Brunos here
Yes.
because just so many ways they just give wholeheartedly of themselves. They're beings of light. They came to share the light, and I just bowed to the magnificent energy, the two of them, and.
Yeah, visit the back garden. It's beautiful.
Oh
with
yes,
all-
and for those who want to see an example of the handiwork, it's not all of their work, but they led the charge up the hill, and we took that hill. And that's the garden in the back. And the garden's pretty much all of them, and the mural is Patrick and Eric. And so,
I was just going to say too, come spring, I will need some help with like tidying up and weeding a little bit. So I appreciate some Sunday, anyone just see little things.
cool.
Where's the trash?
Chaya. That's your name?
Great.
I mean, I pulled it out. It said Chaya. Yeah. What? Yeah, she was here before.
Back in town.
Left. She's back. Thank you for coming back and visiting with us and sharing your light. It is bright indeed, and always has been. Continuous. What's that? Indeed, ours as well. This is the planet, the family. Y'all are just.
The planet family.
I bow to the family, all of y'all, and it starts with Mama. So, you know, that's what I'm saying. Yeah. Well, you know, yeah, absolutely. So thank you for sharing your family, your love, and the excellent job you're doing. These are some amazing beings. I'm every week they blow me away in some other way, and that's just a fact. And so I'm just really grateful that they're here, and I'm so grateful that you're here. And my gratitude is at a place where I'm like, man, I know it wasn't easy getting them where they are right now. And but you stayed the course. You know, you stayed the course, and you're staying the course. So thank you. And I don't know. I'm stolen because I don't know your name. So Charlotte, thank you, Charlotte. All right, Charlotte. Indeed, Craig, we saved his hat from last week. Dose's in the house from classwork.
Ricardo.
Ricardo. Thank you. Because what I was thinking, I knew that is not his name. Don't say it out loud.
Well.
And Gene and Frank. Thank you. Frank, you've been showing up on a regular. You seem to be having a good time. I think it's time to just start charging him dues or something. That's a joke. We don't have dues. You know, I'm just so grateful to be, it's just, I'm forever humbled. You know, I get to do what I love. You know, I get to do what I love, what I was born to do. I'm not good for anything else.
Not good for nothing.
You know? I can accomplish some small task, but there's nothing I do as well as this. So thank you all. Thank you, live streamers.
More music.
Yes, more music.
You are the heart.
Yes.
You are the hands. You are the voice of spirit on earth. And all you are and all you do is a blessing to the world. We are the heart. We are the hands. We are the voice of spirit on earth. And all we are and all we do is a blessing to the world. I am the heart. I am the hands. I am the voice of spirit on earth. And all I am and all I do is a blessing to the world. One more time. And all I am and all I do is a blessing to the world. Beautiful.
That's fire right there.
It is.
Man, can you walk around with that as not an affirmation, a mantra? All I am, all I do is a blessing to the world. That's an upgrade of what I've been saying. Everything came to serve me. Everything came to bless me. This is me blessing everything. I'm here to bless everything. God bless each and every one. We leave here knowing that we're empowered, enlivened, that there's a seamless integration of being that operates in us and through us and as us. So much so that it is with absolute certainty that we know this. Please repeat after me. The light of God surrounds me.
The light of God surrounds me.
The love of God enfolds me.
The love of God enfolds
The
me.
power of God protects and watches over me. The wisdom of God guides and directs me. The substance of God supplies, supports, and sustains me. Wherever I am, wherever I go, whatever I think, say, or do, God is, and all is well. And so it is.
So it is. Let's gather in a circle
Thank
for
you,
the
thank you.
closing chant.